Hello, I'm Suzette Mullen of Your Story Finder, book coach, memoir writer, and avid reader. Welcome to Your Next Read with Suzette. Madman in the Woods, Life Next Door to the Unabomber by Jamie Gehring is your next read. Now, normally on this show, I'm holding a copy of the book I'm highlighting, but not this time, because I'm recording this episode before the publication date, which is April 19th, 2022. I had the privilege, however, of reading a digital advanced reader's copy, known in the biz as an ARC. So why did I read this book? Well, first of all, who wouldn't want to read this book? Aren't you intrigued? I'm so excited to tell you about this true crime memoir. 2 years ago, the author came to me while she was working on her book proposal. And that's a document that's basically a business plan that you use to pitch a nonfiction book. And Jamie was struggling with her opening chapters, and we worked together to get them just right. And then she landed an agent and a book deal, and I am so darned proud of her. Here are some key takeaways from Madman in the Woods, and also some tips for writers. Now, right from the title, we have an idea of what this book's about. Living next door to Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, and obviously not knowing who he was or what he was doing at that time. Now, for young Jamie living in Montana in the 80s and 90s, Ted was simply Ted, a slightly odd neighbor who brought her painted rocks as a gift and who sat at her family's dinner table for the occasional meal. I'm getting creeps just thinking about that. 25 years later, as an adult, Jamie sets off to reconcile her childhood with the reality that she was living next door to the longest-running domestic terrorist in American history, someone who for 17 years mailed explosives to strangers. Now, she spent years probing Ted's personal history, his writings, his secret-coded crime journals. She even corresponded with him personally after he was incarcerated. Now, what she finds out is complex, and it's a mystery, and she also discovers a shocking revelation related to her own family. Now, like all good books, Madman taps into the universal, something beyond the facts of what happened in a particular person's life. Now, this book asks, what is truth? Can you ever really know someone? Can evil and good exist together in the same person? And the author utilizes what's known as a braided structure of narrative. She weaves together different strands, her childhood memories, research, investigative journalism, all in service of the question, do you really know your neighbor? Now, who should read this book? Well, anyone who's ever been surprised by the behavior of someone they thought they knew. Memoir writers who want to read a well-constructed braided narrative, and fans of true crime stories. If you like Madman in the Woods, here's some other classic true crime books you should check out. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi, and The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. For more book tips, check out my Reader's Corner posts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit my website, yourstoryfinder.com. And make sure to check out my blog. You'll find a link to my interview with this author there. Better yet, sign up for my newsletter and get all the scoop for reader and writers. Madman in the Woods by Jamie Gehring is your next read.
Your Next Read with Suzette was produced by So Good Media at the Candy Factory, a co-working and social club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Check it out at coworkinginlancaster.com. Learn more about Suzette and her book coaching services at yourstoryfinder.com. So good.
Lancaster!